Hi, this is Taylor Tatiana, and this is episode 3 of Just Keep Lashing podcast. So, our topic today is going to be lash depression because I feel like a lot of lash artists go through it. And the first thing I want to touch on is like how it happens. So, when you're a lash artist or you're a beauty professional, you have all types of clients emitting off different types of energy. You have people that they vibrate really high and some people vibrate really low. And one thing about energy is it transfers. So when I was lashing in my home, I really did have a few negative clients due to me, pricing my prices so low, and I wasn't saging my home or like resetting the energy. So I went through something called a lash depression. I wasn't really eating. I couldn't sleep. I wasn't leaving the house, and I just felt like really down. And the reason why I felt this way was because I wasn't setting my boundaries as a lash artist. So I was letting people come late. I was letting people like wear shoes in my home, which were against my rules. People were like bringing random people to my house while they were getting their lashes done. And eventually I just became like this strict person with hella rules. I was like, no eating, no drinking, no approaching your lash appointment on the phone. Cause people would literally come into like my house on the phone talking to other people and just not even acknowledging me. I just felt like I was just a robot here to do their lashes and collect the money. And I just feel like they didn't respect me as a person. What I did to change that was, for one, I held myself accountable and realized what I was doing wrong in my business, which was not setting the tone, So I came up with all these rules and I upped my pricing so that I could attract a more luxurious clientele. One thing that lash artists needs to do to protect their mental health is take time for yourself. Don't overwork yourself, and remember that you don't really owe anyone anything. So if someone's texting you at 10 o'clock at night and this is your time for your brain to rest, don't text back. You are not obligated to text anybody back after hours, especially if you're not being paid for that time. Also, take those days off. I know that everybody is being pushed into this like hustle culture to where everybody feels like, oh, you need to work sun up to sundown. And no, have a scheduled set of hours, put it in your mind like, okay, I'm only going to work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And after that, no. Like a lot of people, they trade their mental health for money. And that's just simply not okay. You need to put yourself first always, because at the end of the day, when you close down your salon and you're there alone, it's you that's having anxiety, not them. And of course, they don't care. So make sure that, you're protecting your time, your space, and your energy. Another thing that I see lash artists doing is just accepting anyone. You go to any restaurant these days and they literally have a sign that says we have the right to refuse service to anyone. The same thing applies for your lash business. If you have that client that's every time they book and you see their name on the screen, you're like, oh my God, Sally's coming today. Cancel that bitch. Cancel. And then the next thing you do, you ban her. And honestly, you really don't need to give them any type of, reason, because that can create conflict and confrontation. But what I would do when I would get like negative vibes from clients, or I just realized that they were draining my energy, I would simply ban them from my site with no explanation. I mean, if they really push for it, like, why can't I book? You just simply tell them, I don't feel like I'm the lash artist for you. One thing I don't play about is people draining my my energy, because I'm very anxiety sensitive. Like the littlest thing will set me off, and once I get anxiety, I literally shut down. I don't say anything. I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to address it, because it's just confrontational situations literally give me anxiety. You have to protect your energy at all costs. And I wasn't doing that. And that's how I got lash depression. Something that every lash artist needs to do is take time for self-care as well. You know what I mean? Keep your nails done, keep your hair done, get your favorite ice cream, take yourself to the beach, schedule time for yourself. It's not all work, no play. Play a little bit. Set your set hours. Do not sit there and work 6 to 7 days a week just because you seen on Instagram they had this little flyer that says, oh, if you take 5 clients a day for 7 days a week, you're going to make X amount of dollars per week and you're going to be a millionaire. The biggest issue with the lash industry is it's pushed to trade time for money. And honestly, to keep it 100% real with you guys, I feel like lashing is not a career. It's literally a stepping stone. Take that money, invest it in something, and literally just get out. That's what I did. Because at the end of the day, when you're a lash artist, you don't get unemployment insurance. You don't get health insurance. You don't get dental insurance. You don't get paid time off. So if you break your hand, you lose your eyesight, you break your foot, anything that could put you out of work, if you do not have money saved up, you're fucked. So at the end of the day, you need to generate some type of passive income. Lashing, it hurts your back, it hurts your hands, it hurts your feet, it hurts your eyes, and it really hurts your mental. I hate to say it, but if you've been lashing for 5 years, that's just simply not a flex to me, because it's like, okay, you have the car and the house to show for it, but do you have a savings account? Are you able to take vacations when you want? If you took off work for the week, do you still have an income? No. So what I recommend everybody to do, take that money that you're making from the lashes and invest it into something, whether it's a hair brand, a clothing brand, lash supplies. The goal right now, I feel like, is to work less and to make more, because it's like, okay, you can do 5 clients a day. And even if it took you 2 hours on each client, that's 10 hours, right? 10 times 5 is 50. You're working 50 hours a week. Let's say that you're charging each client $200. 2 times 5 is like $1,000 a day. Yeah, you made $5,000 this week, and you'll make $5,000 the next week, and $5,000 the next week, and $5,000 the next week. What is that? 5 times 4, that's like $20,000 a month. But it's like, how much time did you dedicate to that? It's not worth it. And when you think about like millionaires and stuff like that, they don't trade time for money. And what you're doing is basically putting a cap on how much money you can make. I don't want to do that, because personally for me, $150,000, I mean, that may be a lot to some people, but that's not enough. Like, with inflation going on, with insurance going up, and everything that's going on in this world, I want to have kids. I want my kids to be set. That's just simply not enough money for me. Too much money is not enough money. There's never enough money. Like, I just feel like I don't want to trade my time for money anymore, and I don't think that anybody else should do that. And that's another thing that weighs on mental health, is literally just overworking yourself to the bone for a little piece of cash that you can't even enjoy because you're working so much. That's episode 3 of Just Keep Lashing. Thank you for joining. It's Taylor Tatiana.